wherever you are in the world. Dr. Eve here. Welcome. It is a good day to be alive in America. Wherever you are, it is a great day to be alive. And if you are listening to my voice, say, Father, I thank you. Happy birthday to you. All right, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Eve, your health and human service educator in retirement, growing food, and helping people to live sustainably as they develop strong home economies. Y'all, everything begins with us. I was in the kitchen just a moment ago, um, harvesting some of my parsley seeds and just thinking about human behavior. Not what people do to us, but human behavior, like our own behavior. What are we doing for ourselves to help ourselves, right? Um, that's a part of living sustainably, like living less on the government, living less dependent on systems, living, understanding that God created everything and that you have everything you need. Those are the things of understanding that you can live sustainably. Now, is it easier to live sustainably? That depends. That depends on you, on your behavior and your methods, your methodology, which is why we teach what we teach over here, the importance of collecting your seeds. So if you bought it one time, or say you um, propagated it, say you propagated it one time, maybe you got it for free from somebody, then you should not have to buy it again. Let me say that again. If you propagated it or you bought it one time, you should not have to pay for it again. Now, the one thing about the seeds that I'm collecting today is that once you plant them, they coming back again and again and again, as long as you have good soil and that you amend properly and that you take care of them and that you understand their microclimates. That's just like me, y'all, planting, uh, what do you call them things? Hostas. Discovering that I planted hostas for beauty and didn't pay attention to the fact that they don't like heat. Not heat, but they don't like sun. Like, they like part shade to shade. So here I am wondering why my hostas are burning up, getting crispy, and I realized that, baby, they don't belong there. So that's why it's important. If you have not watched my video on understanding your microclimates, then please read that. Watch that, because it is critical that we understand our microclimates, or otherwise our plants are going to fail. So we are talking about seeds today and how you can live sustainably by making sure that you collect your seeds over and over and over and over again. It's just like if the world was to go to HE double hockey today or tomorrow, baby, I'm packing the seeds. I'm going to pack the seeds. I'm going to pack the seeds that's coming with me. Okay. If I got to flee to the hill, the seeds are coming along, because no matter where I am, understanding your plants, understanding the microclimates, you can start again. You can always start again. But the most important thing is that you know your body needs food. Does it need a lot of food? Absolutely not. Which is another thing that we must gain control over, and that's called gluttony. Gluttony is a sin. If we can learn to eat less, eat good, eat God's food, and eat less, we have a greater chance of survival. Okay? Hey, Madeline. How are you doing? So, yeah, that's what we need to do. So, I'm collecting today. I have harvested parsley seeds. I have harvested, hey there, I've harvested oregano seeds, mojito mint, oregano, parsley, and I am now harvesting celery. Listen, these are good foods, y'all. These are foods that'll be your medicine. These are foods. When the last time you had celery and peanut butter? Celery and just celery. Just celery. It's a good food to have in your arsenal. So we're talking about harvesting seeds because sustainability is key. It's key in this season, everyone. But you must understand your microclimates because today we're also, they came out of these pots right above. You see these pots up there? There's a big frog living in one of them. Hey there, Dariana. There's these big pots that's sitting up here on these rails. You see them? The black ones. Those hold a lot of my herbs. Parsley, mint, oregano, sage. But I also have it everywhere in the garden. Everywhere in the garden. Why? Because you want to see where it grows best. If you could grow more, grow more. Just keep growing, right? But then, baby, and if you got all the seeds, then you can keep growing, right? So I want us to really get into it. How many of y'all are growing food? Raise your hand. Who's growing food? Raise your hand. Raise your hand like Dariana. Wave if you are growing food. None of y'all growing food? Is your mama growing food? Your daddy growing food? Your grandma? Anybody growing food over here on this channel? All right, so I guess that's none of y'all. Let's see who. Oh, somebody did. Emmis raised your hand. Emmis, are you growing food? Shout out to Emmis. Is that Emmis? Shout out to Emmis. Are you growing food, Emmis? Because if you are, congratulations. You're on your way. Make sure that you collect your seeds. So if you have to run to the hill, baby, you take your seeds with you. Make sure your seeds are packed up and ready to go. Okay? Hey, James. Hey, Dariana. So, Dariana, you're growing food? Yeah, I'm growing food. You want to see? Everywhere. Greenhouse, garden, pots. Everywhere is food, right? Patios, apples, sidebars. You see those celery seeds? We picking those today, okay? These are my celery, and I let them go to seeds. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what what are you all growing? That's what I want to know. Because yesterday I had to pull my hostas out of the bed because they were burning up, and I had them in the wrong microclimate. We've been talking about that, right? So while I'm talking to y'all, I'm going to be grabbing some of these seeds. Now, y'all won't be able to see me all that well because the light is kind of bad over here. So let's see if this is better. Okay, now I can see your comments. So while I am harvesting these seeds because work got to continue, right? I've got parsley. Actually, I got parsley and celery over here. All right, so I gotta grab all of these seeds because what we not gonna do is keep buying seeds. Celery is a good food. It takes some time to grow, but you have to grow, y'all. We have to grow. We gotta grow. Can you help me? Okay, how would you like help? That depends. Um, because I have a lot of information on my channel. But we getting all these seeds, right? All you see all these seeds up here. So that's the stem. Do you have apples? I do, Dariana. I actually grew my own from seed. Let me show you. I'm growing my own from seed right there. I've got about 6 of them. I had 16, but a couple burned up in the sun. Why? Because I didn't understand the microclimate. But they're coming back. So I'm hoping to recover the ones that are right there. I took them out of the sun. They were too young to be in the sun. And so they are coming back better than ever and they look really, really good. So I'm super excited about that. Do you have apples? What kind of fruit do you have? I have a huge orchard. I have grapes. I had my first grapes this year, and I just cut down several grapes. I have roselle. I have blackberries. I have blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, watermelon, all the things. carrots. Yeah, I got carrots. You have grapes. You have carrots. You have apples. What kind of bug is that? Oh, I guess that's a celery bug. You have carrots. You have apples, and you have peaches. I have peaches too. So I have a dwarf peach and I have a larger peach, and I ate the ones from the larger peach already. Now the dwarf peaches are ready. So they came in differently. Took a little time, but they are in and they are turning nice color. I did get some last year. You had berries? Yeah, I've got berries. I've got strawberries, mulberries, blueberries, raspberries, and they all came in. Like I literally stored them. Like I have blueberries in the freezer. I had so many blueberries, and so I am freeze drying now, so learning to freeze dry. I love freeze drying. Y'all hear that rooster? Can y'all hear that rooster? Y'all, I live in the city. We not supposed to have roosters. Somebody has a rooster, and he is rooster roo rooing. Y'all hear the rooster? So I this is a lot of seed, y'all, but I plan to get every single one of them that I can. So it's just rubbing, rubbing the stems together and letting the seeds just fall in because they're so small. How old am I? Now you know you're not supposed to ask a lady that, but I'm 62 in answer to your question. Very seasoned mama. Yeah, I'm retired and I'm loving YouTube, loving sharing my journey with those who are Oh, that's a creep. That bug is in there. He eating up the seeds. No, you're not. Get out. You gotta go. I mean, he is in there. That little buggy. Yesterday there was the butterflies have started. The butterflies love to lay their eggs on the herbs. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have chickens and I have cats. I have um, Brazilian short hairs. My daughter's cats. Do you have a pet? You have a horse. You have 9 dogs. You have cows and 7 roosters. I bet those roosters be driving your neighbors crazy. You live in the country? Do you live in the country, Dariana? Because, baby, that rooster is roostering. But I wouldn't hear him even if he roosted. When I'm asleep, that's it. When I am asleep, that's it, baby. Yeah, I have 4 hens, and they lay eggs. They're a year old, and so I'm probably gonna start. Like, I want to learn how to raise quail, 'cause also you have to keep you have to keep you have to keep growing new because the hens they're after 3 to 4 years their egg laying will come to a halt. Look at those. These just celery seeds, y'all. There's so many of them. It's a lot. So I grew them. I didn't. Okay. They were okay, but this was my first time growing them. So yeah, this was my first time growing them. So um, they they didn't grow all that well. I mean, they grew, but I didn't know everything I knew about the plant. Like you're supposed to keep the celery in a bunch. You're not supposed to just let them sprawl all over the place because they won't thicken. Like for example, you see how this is? They're supposed to you're supposed to put a band around them so that yeah, I got to put my hair up. It's very hot. Hold on. I have a husband. Hold just a minute. This hair got to go up. Whew. It is boiling out here. It is not playing out here. Oh, wait a minute. I messed that up. Hold on. Okay. Trying to get a little ponytail. Put this in a bun a little bit. It's so warm. Why did I want to garden? That's a really good question. So, thank you for asking that. That's a really, really good question. So, why did I want to garden? Well, in I believe in not having to. I understand, have a strong understanding of systemic violence as a criminal justice major, human service professional. I have a very strong history understanding of what has happened to us over the years. And after studying the research, um, I know that there were three instances in which um, people went back to the land. I grew up in the 60s and during the time of a lot of civil unrest, during the death and killings of JFK, Martin Luther King, and some of the greats, people that were defending the people. And during that time, right after the war, the Civil War, the Vietnam War, the soldiers came back and were mistreated, really, not treated fairly after having fought for their country. And so the people decided, like, hey, we want to be less systematic. We don't want to have, we see what you will do to your own. And so we want a simple life. We don't want to be governed by government. We just really just want to be left alone because we realize that no one's coming to save us, right? And so the people went back to the land. So now, mind you, now all of this history is my reason, is my why. Um, in the 1990s, we witnessed climate change and or the climate environmental changes, things happening to the water, the climate changing, and the need for new green energy. So during that time, the people also resisted by doing what? Going back to the land, you know, taking care of the soil, figuring, hey, if we don't take care of it, no one else will. So we have to be intentional about our efforts in taking care of our globe where we live, our communities, our backyards. If we could just start with our own backyards, then we will have done, each person will have done their part. And so that was part of the 1990 era in which we went back to the land. Then, of course, there was the period of COVID. And during that time, people really wanted to, had a mistrust. And all three times there was a mistrust for the government. It was a mistrust, period. We didn't trust them. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. You should, God tells us, trust no man. Put your faith or your trust in no man because they will fail you every single time. So then the third time, like I said, was COVID. And we had to really figure out how we were going to care for ourselves when we saw our people dying. So many people are dying. Our ancestors, our people were dying like by the droves and all over the world, and people were trying to figure out, well, what happened and where did this come from? And how can we better protect ourselves and our children and our families? And again, that was during the time when God shared with me to learn now to get prepared. So by prepared, I was learning how to grow food in my backyard at the time. I lived in a townhouse, and so in the townhouse, I didn't have any land. I had a little small slab of land, backyard. So I learned to grow out of bags. I learned to grow how to grow out of shoe bags, whatever I could put dirt in. I didn't know much about the plants. I just really just put every seed in the ground. But I hadn't studied. Now, after COVID in 2022, after my mom died, my husband and I bought this place intentionally, and we decided that, hey, because I was traveling around the world at the time, and I then traveled to all 6 continents, and realized, that we have what we need. We just need to use it and be intentional about what we do with our time and our resources. And so we moved into this home, and the first year I wanted to put in food. But again, you asked me why did I want to grow food? Because of literally, there's a long story, but the bottom line is mistrust of the government and the need to, we see what's happening with our food. We see what people are doing. We see that the things they told us weren't necessarily true. We can see. And so you have to be intentional about growing. And so that's my reason for growing. I have grandchildren. I have 7 grandchildren. I have 4 grown children and 7 grands. And it's important to me to teach these things to my children and my children's children. So the homestead is what it is. And so I went very quickly, moved into gear. After God said prepare. When God tell you to do something, you better do it. You don't always understand why, but you better listen, because if I hadn't listened, I wouldn't have been able to do what I am doing now. I literally just would not. I would be uh, in a phase of what do we do now every time I heard something else on the news, right? So, but by listening to God who told me to get prepared, I was in a position to grow the food. Not only that, but as an educator, I am able to help others to do it. And so I think that was the most important thing about me getting in gear. It's not just me. It's not just about me. It's never been about just me, because that's not my calling. My calling has always been to community. And so since that is the case, learning how to was important, because other people would, look to me for and in need of help. If somebody has done it before, then my goal is to teach somebody else. That's the only assignment that I have in this earth, is to teach somebody else. You said, do I have kids? Yep, I have 4 children. They're adults now. Do you know what spring brought? Spring brought spring. Well, it depends. It brought a lot of things, but do you have a specific concern? Oh, yeah, a nightmare. It brought a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Which means that we are in another state again, right now, where all of this coming full circle, that everything that, we saw happening over this, it's nothing new under the sun, y'all. If we didn't see this coming, and one thing about me is I never did put my trust in man, and so I'm glad. But the second thing is, as a believer, um, I understand the revelation. I understand the scriptures, and so because I do, can I see your butterflies like today? Actually, eggs. Oh, yeah, I threw them. No. The ones that I picked, the celery that I picked where the butterfly worms were, I let them stay alive. I put them on the mulch pile. They're in the back. They're in the back in the mulch pile. I let them stay alive so that they could finish munching on whatever they was munching on and turn into butterflies. Yeah, there's been a blue, I don't know what type of butterfly it is. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I know that they are here because I have watched them. I have watched them lay their babies. I have seen their babies. I have seen their worms. I have seen the witness on the celery plants, not this one, but the one in the back. When I see the worms, they were beautiful worms, by the way. Caterpillars, not worms. I guess they're called caterpillars. Okay, you said bye. I'm going to leave my mom. Said I need to do my chores. Okay, go do your chores. Go get them chores done. It's nice talking to you, Dariana. Yeah, so anyway, y'all get them seeds. These are my, look, celery seeds. Smell so good. I never imagined myself doing this, y'all. I never saw this coming. Like, growers, where y'all at? Did you ever imagine yourself growing food so y'all can see? Okay, there we go. I was trying to figure out why I had to turn the Wi-Fi off because it was acting silly. All right, so we have a bunch, and I'm planning to get all of them. So what are we doing? We are collecting. Right now, we're collecting celery seeds. I probably can. Did you not know that y'all know that you can collect your celery seeds for food? You can just take them in the house and put them inside your food. You can also get these for your cabinets. Oregano, all of those seeds. Those are seeds too. Seeds being that oregano. Yep. We are collecting and we are harvesting seeds today. And all I'm doing is rubbing the ends of these plants so the seeds can fall out. Can you hear them? It's a lot of seeds. Wow. And they are so tiny. This is a good day really to harvest seeds, y'all, because it is so hot and it's dangerously hot, and so being in the garden is not a really good thing. I can't imagine our ancestors and what they had to go through to tolerate such hot temperatures, being forced to cultivate the land when they weren't even given a choice. I can't imagine how hard that might have been. So when I look at the fact that I know that there are a lot of people that are still healing because of the things that have happened to us, um, healing and I talked to a neighbor recently, and my neighbor was trying to get his peaches out of the tree, and he said that the peaches weren't doing well this year because things were eating them. And yes, there was a lot of pressure, pest pressure this year. But my neighbor was saying, I asked him, was he growing food, and or did he have a garden? And he said, nah, um, I didn't. I haven't farmed since I left home, since I left my daddy, and that was years and years and years ago. But the disappointing thing about that is I walked over and I said to him, I said, sir, I realize that there's a lot of healing our people have had to do from the land because of the things that happened to us. I said, but now it's not the time to not garden. I just literally said that. Now is not the time. God said to garden. He said to grow food. Like, Because if you can't see how if these prices haven't gotten to you already, then you see what's happening with the food. You see that the dangers of trusting the current system. You see the dangers of not having fresh food. You see the dangers of the things that you might enjoy not being available to you anymore because of the shipments, and the fact that cargo has stopped literally in a lot of areas. So these things have happened to us. We cannot afford to not grow food. We just can't afford to continue to be in a complacent state of mind where we don't think about the fact that we need to grow food. And if you are in now, how why can I talk about this? Because I grew in bags at first, baby. I wasn't playing. I'm gonna learn how to grow this food. I'm gonna have me some tomatoes. And I mean, I had 9 foot plants. I grew in bags. I grew in shoe bags. I grew in cans. I didn't care what it was. I was gonna grow that food. Now, so when I say to you over here on my channel that you can too, you can. You can. It just takes maybe a little more creativity for those who don't have land. It may take just a little bit more creativity, and who knows better than that than me? Because I was living in a townhouse when I first started with no land, but I was growing that food, and I mean I grew everything, cucumbers, okra, anything I could put. I would open up the food bag, like literally open up the dirt bag and drop seasons in the dirt bag, drop seeds in the dirt bag, because that's how important it was for me to learn. And then also, God says so. He tells you to do something, you better do it. Because a famine is here. It's coming. Y'all can see the people who are hungry. Our children over in other parts of the world are hungry. We are faced with that famine. We're going to be faced with that similar type of famine. If we're not prepared, then how will you eat? Are you beginning to think about what you eat now and what you put in your mouth to make sure that you are preparing your palate to eat differently? Are you doing that? Are you still thinking that burgers and hot dogs and hamburgers and all these foods that are now saying that they are no longer healthy for us? Are you still um, believing that system? Are you still I'm just saying that we have to do better. We have to do better. So, those are my thoughts today. I'm Dr. Eve, everyone. For those of you who have not been here before, I'm just a real live person who's talking about real life and the importance of creating a sustainable life and to build a strong economy for your family through every means, physically, mentally, psychologically, socially, financially. You can't build a strong home economy without all without thinking about all of those critical points of entry. Of That's a part of you. That's a part of your life. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the pots. I'm going to clean out and amend all the soil, and then I'm going to take these seeds and spread some of them, because I don't want to put a lot because it don't take much. But I like dense food planting, and so I think what I'm going to do is put them in those pots up there, and I gonna amend the soil, and then I'm gonna spread some seeds across, and then I'm gonna put I was just thinking about it because these seeds are so small. I'm gonna put a napkin over top of them so that a nice moist paper towel over top of them so that they don't just fly in the wind, that they will maintain. Because y'all see all these seeds? I've got more parsley seeds too. I'm trying to collect all the seeds. Celery is a nice, healthy food um, that you can eat, um, and it's healthy for you. I'm going to start telling y'all about the benefits of these foods. If you have not watched, I've been doing plant profiles, um, not just for your healthy and why you should, but the profile plus, what it does for you. I think that's important, you know, and how to grow it. How to grow it, you know. My hen over there laying an egg. Oh, there's a bug. There's a bug, y'all, but what happened to it? It didn't blend it back in. Oh, there it is. I was trying to get the bug out of it. Oh, there's some more in here. Oh, there's quite a few in here. You don't want the bugs. We don't want the bugs. So this is why when you harvest, it's important because you need to, cause see, this will be happening to y'all food. This how we end up with parasites because they not looking for no bugs, y'all. You gotta look for your own bugs. But I'm sifting through this stuff. I'm gonna put it through a sifter because they'll mess around and lay some more eggs in your food, your stuff. And y'all have a whole canister full of celery seeds with bugs in them. You have to sift this stuff. You gotta go back and sift. Trying to see if there's any more bugs hiding in here because baby, they do hide. So, all right. So anyway, I wasn't planning on staying up here too long. It's been 40 minutes. Again, I will come back and show y'all all the seeds I collected. Ooh, it is so hot. I will come back and show y'all all the seeds I collected from the parsley, the celery, the mojita, the oregano, and the lemon balm. Lemon balm's not looking as good, but we're going to see what we can get out of it. And then I have this plant over here. I'm trying to get these seeds as well. These pods right here, this is a beautiful plant that blooms, but these pods, and it's not dead, but those are the seeds to the plant. This is why you need your seeds. You don't keep buying stuff. Collect the seeds. Collect them seeds, everybody. All right, y'all. I got to go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.